How's my breath? What does it matter? There's no smell vision on this thing. Hi, I'm Steve, I'm blind, and welcome to In Between Games, a show where I'm going to do on a sort of regular basis, maybe, I don't know. It's a pilot show for something that maybe possibly could be a podcast, but I don't know what it is yet. I know, it's confusing to me as well. I have this idea that I've been wanting to sort of get into kind of a solo podcast, but also wanted to bring in some guests and some interviews and also talk about stuff that's interesting to me that doesn't necessarily have to do with gaming Let's Play videos. So I kind of wanted to sort of do this thing and kind of start it up, and I figured, you know what? It's gonna suck the first episode, but I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna do it, and if it turns into anything, and if you like it, like, great, let me know in the comments below. But before I really get into what I want to talk about today, I wanted to sort of mention that actually I will be at Con Bravo 2017 as a featured panelist. You may be asking, what is Con Bravo? Con Bravo is a geeking and gaming convention for the community of gamers, the community of cosplayers, the community of just geeks in general in the Ontario, Canada area. It's in Hamilton, Ontario, like I said, it'll be on July 28th to the 30th at the Hamilton Convention Center. And like I said, I am a featured panelist this year, which is actually pretty cool. I was a featured panelist last year, and I'm happy to be able to be back again. And I do have a few sort of panels that I'm going to be at this year. The first off is actually on Friday, the 28th. I will be moderating the Video Production 101 panel, which is in Ballroom at 7:30. And it's going to be basically, it's kind of going from the beginning of like your setup, what type of equipment do you need for anything from vlogging to Let's Plays to reviews to podcasts, that kind of thing. We're going to go through, there's a few panelists that are going to be on there, including myself, that we're going to be talking about all kinds of video production stuff. And then on Saturday, I am not going to be in the Video Production 102, which is all about kind of the editing process and kind of After Effects and stuff like that. But I highly recommend checking it out because it is a kind of a three-part series throughout the whole weekend. That's in the Ballroom as well at 1:30. But if you want to see me specifically, I'm going to be on the Terrible Warriors Live in room 314. Also at 1:30, and it's kind of a culmination, like the ending episode of a campaign we've been running on our website, terriblewarriors.com. It's a podcast where we play RPGs, and we're playing this game called Apocalypse World, and I play this character called Simon, and he's a hard holder, which means that he owns like a little kind of community, and we call it Sanctuary, and it's a pretty cool campaign, and we're going to be doing, and we also kind of partnered with our Edmonton crew, and they're going to be coming down, so it's like a huge giant kind of mega show. Think of it like the Avengers of Terrible Warriors in a way, of this campaign kind of coming together, and we're doing the show live. So check it out, Terrible Warriors 314. And then after that, I'm going to be doing my own Blind Gamer Live panel, and also in room 314 at 6 o'clock. It is going to be a blast. I'm excited. This is going to be the first time I'm going to be kind of doing this in front of an audience, and I'm going to have some of my friends there. We're going to play some games. Maybe there's going to be a way for you to be involved if you're there. I don't know 100% know yet, but I'm excited to be able to kind of do this for the first time, Blind Gamer Live, so come on, check it out. And then on Sunday, the July 30th, I'll be on the Video Production 103, the ending of the video production workshop series. It's also in the Ballroom at 1 o'clock, and that's where we're going to go into the promotion of videos and sort of like how to build a community around the videos, and hopefully kind of go from 0 subscribers to at least 1 subscriber plus. So that's going to be interesting, and I'm really happy to be able to kind of be a part of Con Bravo again this year. I'm really excited to be able to meet some of you guys. If you're there, come say hi, come take photos. I don't care. I would love to be able to meet you. So please do that, and I hope to see you there. I bring all that up because I'm going to start this sort of segment on this show where I call Best Story Ever. And I may have some guests come in and try to tell their best stories ever, but this story that I'm going to tell you today actually involves a convention, and I want to tell a story. It's not necessarily my best story ever, but it's the only name I can come up with a segment called this. And the story is in regards to how I met Adam West. I know Adam West, may he rest in peace. He was an amazing performer as Batman. He was my Batman growing up before Michael Keaton. This is because he was the Batman that I could watch as a kid, because Michael Keaton kind of scared me in '89 because I was about 6 years old at the time. Let's do the math on that one. And so, like, that whole movie scared me, so I didn't get a chance to watch it until, like, a little bit later in the 90s. But Batman 66 with Adam West was my favorite Batman growing up. And I got the chance, thanks to a super fan of my work, I got to go to Atlanta, Georgia, to Dragon Con in 2008. And I was beside myself, because it was like, Dragon Con is kind of like the little sister of Comic-Con, but it's sort of like more community focused. And there's a lot of guests that come into that convention, and there's never really a lot of separation between guests and like attendees. Like, there was one time I was walking up the escalator, or down the escalator, I don't know, and I saw James Marsters or James Marston. I can never remember that correctly. From Buffy, Spike from Buffy was coming down the other way, and I kind of gave him a high five as we were kind of going opposite ends, and it was pretty cool. But there was a lot of cool access you kind of you get as an attendee at Dragon Con, and one of those is when you just get random guest encounters. And I was standing in line for lunch at one of the cafes that was in one of the hotels, and I was just kind of figuring out what I wanted to eat, and I'm standing there, and then I hear the voice. And I distinctly know that that's Adam West. Not kidding. I just know it. Like, I've heard it so many times as a kid, and I started to freak out. This is pre, like, cell phone. Like, this is really, like, when you really had, like, a cell phone camera. So, like, smartphone, like, I didn't have anything like that. I didn't have, like, my camera. All my stuff was in my bag with my friends that was at the table. So I literally had nothing to sort of commemorate the moment. There was no such thing as a selfie in those days. And so I did the only thing I could do, because I felt like I needed to at least meet him and commemorate the moment somehow. And I felt like I would kick myself and I regret it later if I didn't do something. So I turned around and I see Adam West and all his Adam West glory. He was wearing all denim, and he had this baseball cap on that literally said "Got West?" ? You know, like the got milk, but got West. I thought, I don't know how that just sort of stuck in my mind later on, but that is literally what he was wearing. And I turned around and I said, Mr. West, it's a pleasure to be able to meet you. I grew up watching you as Batman. My dad and I bonded together as Batman fans because of your show, and it's because of you that I wanted to get into voice work in regards to Family Guy. And I generally meant that, because actually at the time I was going to be doing voiceover. I wanted to do animation. That has obviously changed. I kind of moved into radio side, but as soon as I said that, he shakes my hand and he goes, "Well, it's always nice to hear someone say that." And then I turn around and I was like, "Hey, great, awesome, this is awesome." And then it's my turn to be able to order food. Now, the story would normally would be over at that point, but it gets better. As I'm paying for my food, it's now Adam West's turn to be able to order his food. And he stands there, and as I'm literally handing cash over to the clerk, I hear Adam West say, "Yes, can I order a PP?" That's quote verbatim. That's exactly what he said. And as if to confirm what I thought he said, the clerk asked, "Excuse me?" And he repeated, "Can I have a PP?" The clerk I'm handing the money to now is actually interested and kind of looks over at Adam West as I'm looking over at Adam West, and the clerk that's trying to answer his question is kind of confused, obviously, because that's not something that you would normally order, and apparently, according to him, it wasn't Burt Ward, it was some sort of cappuccino that he can get in LA, but not in the good old state of Georgia. I kind of shakingly, trying to not laugh, hand my money over, grab my food, and as I'm turning to walk away, still trying to stifle a laugh, I look over and I see in behind Adam West, it's Bishop from Aliens, and he's laughing his ass off. And I went back to my friends. I couldn't stop laughing for 5 minutes until after I told the story. And It's one of the funniest convention stories I've ever had. I have plenty more convention stories, but I figured that's at least the funniest one I can come up with in this segment of Best Story Ever. Anyway, I really kind of hope you enjoyed this sort of pilot project. This is kind of it for now. I do have some other ideas in mind of what I wanted to do, and introducing some segments, maybe some gaming news or some just pop culture news. I would love to talk about San Diego Comic-Con because it's happening right now, and there's some awesome trailers that just released, and I would love to check it out, but I'll maybe get into this stuff later. Anyway, if you like this sort of show idea and you want me to turn into a full-blown podcast, let me know in the comments below, and like this video, share it with your friends, family members, enemies, because enemies can be able to watch this and they can become bigger enemies, or they may not become enemies. You're sharing love. That's what you're doing. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you can, and click the notification bell so that you can know when I'll be putting up more videos. And I'll be putting up more videos soon, including some more Blind Gamers in the coming days. Or, yes, because I got a schedule I keep, sort of. That's it. Anyway, as always, I remain obedience to yours.